Appeals. Liz Banks, and we can introduce ourselves. We'll start with Tom.
Tom Earls.
Marge Cooney.
Diane Trapasso.
Mike Young.
Thank you. And the first thing on the agenda is to review and approve the minutes of January 15th, 2020. You all had a chance to review the minutes?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes, to approve the minutes as written.
Second.
Okay. Motion made and seconded. Is there any comments? No? All those in favor of accepting the minutes?
One abstention.
One abstention.
All right, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4 to 1, with one abstention for the favor. Okay, so for the agenda for the evening, we have,
Three.
at 6:35, we have a public hearing for the water tower on Whittemore Road. At 7 o'clock, there's a determination for 28 Long Ave. Then there's also a determination at 96 Westwood Drive, another determination at 1 Hawthorne Road, and another determination at 10 Fairgrounds Road. So, we have a minute or two before we can start. Does anybody have any old business?
None for me.
Any old business?
No,
No.
thank you.
New business?
No.
No good.
Excellent.
Okay, go ahead, Jean.
The Citizen Planner Training Collaborative will be held on Saturday, March 21st, if anyone's interested in attending. We don't have the course lineup yet, but we have the date. Once we get the course lineup, I'll send it out, and if anyone's interested in attending, we do have funds to pay for members to attend that training. I think Tom went last year with us, I think.
Yes.
and-
Is it at Holy Cross?
At Holy Cross again, yeah. Liz, you went last year too, didn't you?
I did not go last year, but I have been in the past.
The year before. Oh, I know what it was last year. Marge and I were both sick last year too. We didn't make it. So, but it's usually a good day, a lot of good sessions.
They're usually good. They
Yeah.
move fast.
Oh, they are good.
I'll keep you posted on that.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
Good.
Lucky.
Somehow.
Yeah, a guardian angel there.
Yep.
You did.
Sure.
All right, so we're gonna have the continuation of the public hearing for a special permit for 65 Whittemore Road.
Have a butters cards been returned?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, and this is in relation to the water tower at 65 Whittemore Road. So you can go ahead and
All right.
explain.
Peter Engel from McClure Engineering. Basically, this is the existing site, it's a water tower, there's an existing water booster station, an existing underground hydrodynamic tank, which pressurizes the whole water distribution system for Fisk Hill. That hydrodynamic tank is quite old, likely will not be able to be certified by DEP to match existing or current standards for that tank. They're difficult to inspect and maintain, and this one was before any of those regulations went into effect. So the idea is to replace the existing station with a new station, eliminate the need for that. It's a 4, maybe a configuration that would maintain the pressure in the system, so there wouldn't need to be a pressurized tank.
Oh, excuse me, Pete, I'm
Oh,
sorry,
yeah.
could you use the microphone?
Alrighty. So, yeah, basically the installation of this new system would negate the need for that underground tank, which is dangerous. One blew up in Connecticut when they were trying to inspect it a few years ago. So, really, it's just to try to update the distribution system for Fiskey and eliminate the need for that tank. So we'd be installing a new prefab concrete building with a pump system above ground, a new generator for backup power, and tying into the existing water system and water tank.
Oh, I neglected to mention, we did receive information from the Conservation Commission, the health agent, and the building inspector.
Yeah, we did get a local permit from Conservation. Planning board will be next week. This is in front of Mass DEP right now for their approval, and it is actually out to bid right now, with bids being due the first week of March for construction, barring any significant changes.
Does anybody have any questions? You, Mike?
No questions.
And you're just gonna leave the tank where it is?
Yeah, it would be depressurized once they disconnect the existing water line. So it won't be dangerous anymore once it's depressurized, but they'll just leave it in the ground.
What
Yeah,
about
just,
the other tank?
So the
big
other,
one, The tall one,
that's staying, that's,
that stays?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. 'Cause there was some confusion on that.
yeah, there were a couple of people that questioned that. All right,
So the tank that's in the ground is staying in the ground?
Yeah.
It's not being removed?
Right.
Marge, did you have any questions?
yeah, there were a couple of comments.
God bless you.
Thank you.
All right, so the existing structure is, stop listening, 7.8 feet
Right.
from the front line, and you're moving it 27 feet, so that's gonna be back from the front line, so that'll make it more conforming.
Well, that existing structure is gonna stay. The water department would like to keep it for storage.
Okay, so
So
that
it's not being-
7.8 feet is actually the correct?
Yes.
It's still at 7.8?
Right.
Because there was some confusion about that, because it said that it was gonna become more compliant with the front setback, because it was supposed to be 27 feet.
The new building will, but if you
Yeah.
know, in my report, the existing building will stay to be used as
Right,
a
it's
shed.
gonna, yes, but
Right.
there was confusion about that when you look at it. So, basically what we're constructing is a new 12 by 20 booster station, 240 square feet.
Right.
Okay. A multi-pump booster station, a diesel fuel emergency generator system. The existing pump house will remain for storage only for the water department.
Right.
And the existing system will be removed and abandoned, but after the other system is up online.
Right, so all the pumps and equipment in that building would be removed. The only thing that's staying is that underground tank.
Right, so that you can still accommodate the people
Right.
until your new system
Right,
is
yeah, yeah,
put in.
yeah.
That's basically what you're doing, is
Right.
that correct?
Yep.
And then the existing propane tank and propane generator will also be removed at that time.
Right.
Okay, I just want to confirm all of that,
Yep.
that's what I saw happen.
And the building that's there now, is that gonna be refurbished, or
I don't know,
that was disappearing? You should've made-
yeah, I don't know what the water department's idea of the exterior is gonna be. all I know is that they want to keep it for storage of equipment there.
So,
Go ahead.
yeah, in some of the data, it said that the proposed was gonna be a 12-foot by 16 precast, but then in others, it's 12 by 20.
Originally, we had a 12 by 16. This is the second revision, so the building increased by 4
And
feet.
that's where it increases to the 12 by 20. Thank you. Okay. All right. I'm good.
Does anybody else on the board have any questions?
I really don't.
Does anybody in the audience have any questions? No? All right, so on. Anyone want to make?
I make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second that.
All those in favor of closing the public hearing? Okay, unanimous. Anyone like to make a motion on the do we do findings first?
Yeah. I'll make a,
Go ahead. No, no.
I'll make a motion to find that the proposal by the town of Sturbridge Water Department for property located at 65 Whittemore Road to construct a new 12-foot by 20-foot water booster, multi-pump station, and a new diesel fuel emergency generator. Let's see. And the existing pump house is to remain for use by the Sturbridge Water Department for Sturbridge. That's all of it.
That's it?
Okay.
All right, so,
And so I'll make the motion as this will not be substantially more detrimental to the existing in accordance with section 24.09 subsection A through E and section .2005 of the Sturbridge zoning bylaws.
is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? No? All those in favor? Okay, unanimous. And now,
We need to grant
another,
motion.
yep. You want to
Oh.
do that, Marge?
Might as well. Motion to
You're doing
grant-
great, Marge. Thank you.
Motion, the hard part was the finding. The motion to grant the special permit requested as outlined in the application and documentation provided as shown on the plan titled Fiskill Water Pump Station Replacement Project, prepared by McClure Engineering, Inc., dated 12/18/19, plan number SDPW 2020-01, revision number 2, dated January 1/06/20. Got it all? No.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Discussion.
All those in favor?
Good to go.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Unanimous.
Got that out of the way.
So next is the determination for 28 Long Avenue for Dennis Antonopoulos and Christine Thierry. We're here, we're here.
Jean, do you need any more plans?
For the water project? Sure, I'll take them for building. Thank you.
All set.
Okay, this is a determination for 28 Long Ave to allow the construction of an addition, carport, 2 pergolas, and 2 paver patios on a property located at 28 Long Ave. And we did receive comments from Conservation, the building inspector, DPW, fire, and of course Jean's. For the concern of DPW, is that taken care of with that E1 pump?
Yes, that's been resolved.
And then the conservation, it was approved, the project was approved by conservation, so, okay, you can present your,
Good evening, Leonard Jalbert from Jalbert Engineering, representing Mrs. Thierry relative to her proposal on Eder House with her husband Dennis. What they're actually doing is putting in a single-story addition, which is going to be attached to their house, which would be a 30 by 30 foot area approximately, which would connect to the garage area. Not adjacent to the garage, they would be putting in a carport, which is on the northerly side of the garage itself. They'd be taking on both the north and south sides of the house, putting in a paver patio on both sides. And on the south side of that paver patio, they would be putting in a fireplace. The area of the patios and stuff, they want to put on a pagoda, which is above the patios, which would be enclosed. The existing structure, as you see it in the house, aesthetically would not be changed other than just adapting to the house itself and connecting to the garage. The garage area would have a dormer put on its upper area, and then they'd be utilizing an office facility in that particular area of the lofted garage, correct? The house itself is actually serviced by a town sewer, and it has a private well. The area itself is completely outside of the wetland area to Cedar Lake. However, the Riverways Bill, which is a mountain brook which is adjacent to the property, the 2-foot buffer or outer riparian zone of the brook itself was actually within the house proper. We filed for that with the conservation, and it was approved on the grounds that the impact was basically negligible, in that the work that was being proposed was taking place on the lawn area of the house and the garage. And there's no trees to be removed, there's nothing, there's no grade changes. It's rather simplistic on what's actually taking place. The house itself is, I don't know, did you people get in your packet the view of the house itself? I think you didn't?
well, no.
No. What, okay, you go ahead, I got them right here. what this actually is the side view of the house. The road is here. This is the area that's being attached to the garage. That's the attachment to the garage itself. And then the house from the road itself is basically not changing in that, you look at this, that's the garage addition, and everything else, nothing. There's no height changes, there's nothing relative to the, looking at it, here's the house right here. This is looking at the side view, which is this is the side of the house here, that's the promoter area. This is that garage stall that's being put on here, and that's that addition 30/30, so nothing is basically changing. From the street, what you're looking at is, here's the house, which is nothing changed. There's the garage right here, and that's the garage stall, so there's basically no changes.
Thank you. Whoops.
Thank you.
So with that in mind, just if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Sure. All right, I'll go first this time.
Go ahead.
On the minimum lot area, the existing conditions said 30,492, I guess in square feet, but the proposed conditions are 30,442, so the lot got smaller,
No, what happened, that's a typo area. It should have been 92.
so that's a typo?
Right, it went from 40, it's actually 92. It's 7/10 of 43,560 square feet, which actually comes out to the 92, not 42.
Okay. That was one of my questions.
Excuse me, on that same page, I have some problem.
All right, go ahead.
On the right side, on the minimum side setbacks, on the existing, it says 16.2, and then you have 182 feet. I think you mean 18.2.
Where's,
Oh, and
where,
170.
On the minimum side setbacks, on the request for determination form dated 2013, on your application, right after your narrative.
from the garage addition, it's actually 18.2 feet.
No, on the setbacks.
On the setback, it's 18.2 feet from the rear
Yeah, you have
property line.
182
Where do I have 180?
on the scale, on the request for determination.
Oh, okay, it should be, forgot a period, it should be 18.2.
All right, and on the other one, you have 170, and it should be 17.6 according to the plan.
That's correct, yep.
All right, so I'll need you to initial and
Okay.
amend and put in the proper thing for the record, okay?
Yep,
So you can do that now or before he
take care of
leaves?
it, yeah.
Okay, thank you. So those three corrections have to be made, Mr. Talbot. I have one right there, and you have to do it on Ms. Boubon's. And you might want to,
I'll change,
and you might want to correct it up here as well on the plans.
right. Let's see, it should be. Okay. It's 30,000. Thank you.
All right, and also, Mr. Jalbert, in your
Just initial them. I made all the
rear
changes.
yard on the existing and proposed on the plan,
Thanks.
It's 17.6 on that.
It's
17.6.
Yes.
They're both the same. Okay. Now, let me just check. One was 18.1. Remember we had the 18?
That was side setback.
Yes, I'm looking at the legend on the plan itself.
The setback, actually, the rear setback is 15 feet.
No.
Should be from.
It should, but
over here,
I'm looking,
15.
no, I know that, but I'm looking at this.
Oh, well, okay, that was existing.
I
This was
know.
proposed,
Yes, but you got the same figures for both.
right, which is 17, right. Yep.
Okay, so that has to be, all right. Got it. Okay.
I also had a question. So Long Ave, does it go right through the property?
The what now?
Long Ave, it goes right through the property that, the road?
Long Avenue is a road within the town, yes.
Yeah, but
It's
it
a
goes
public
right
way.
through the property that they're building on, correct? I mean, that's what it shows on this map.
It shows it going right through.
I think
What's he saying?
the way the road curves, you know how it used to be straight,
Yeah.
now
Right.
it curves. But I
Right.
think they bought on the other side.
Well, what actually transpired on that, which we have the deeds, is that the person, Pauline Gauthier, bought the original property here that we're discussing tonight, and she kept the property at 27 Long Avenue as part of the transfer, and the piece that's on the westerly side of Long Avenue, she kept that too as part of her property.
All right, so the curved arc piece, where the curve goes like that.
Is where, it's her limit of ownership.
Right.
Right.
There's
Okay.
one triangle of space. that
That's
we
what
own
I'm
across
talking
the
about,
street.
that triangle.
Right.
It's like just
Yes.
woods.
Okay.
Yeah, so on this property map,
Mhm.
it goes right through.
Well, that is the original layout of Long Avenue. It was relocated to where you see right now, where there's a bridge across the Mountain Brook, which is located within that road proper. But when it was done originally on the subdivision, it went straight through, as shown on the plan.
Okay, so the road does not go through here anymore. Is that what you're saying?
The curved road exists, but the.
Long
straight-
Avenue is the existing paved road presently.
The triangular piece, this part, this went back to Garcia, the person that owned it.
This? Okay.
Right here. Right now, if you
The
look,
27.
this yellow piece
Forty.
right here is
That's
Long
the-
Avenue as you see it today.
Right.
Okay,
Okay?
this is the property where they built.
This is the piece that Terry owns. This
Yeah.
is the piece that Gauthier kept when she transferred. She kept that triangular piece.
And what about this? This is Thierry?
That's Thierry's.
Right.
Yes, so the road goes right through.
Right, the
Yeah.
road actually goes right through the property, yes.
It's just a triangular piece that Garcia kept.
Okay.
Does that affect the setback?
Is what?
Does it affect the setback as far as,
What we do is take from the traveled way for the setback, which is 30 feet, which is within the zone. Where her house is presently, this piece right here is actually the original layout of Long Avenue. This here, it goes this way right through here.
currently?
Current layout is right through here.
Does this make the setback, should be measured from this point to this point?
We would measure from this point here to the side of the road right there, which is the 30 feet.
What about this corner, which appears to be, well, you're not putting anything
We're not
structurally
going-
in there, okay.
There's nothing there.
Okay.
We just went from the original structure to the street, that's what that distance is. 30
Okay.
feet.
Okay.
Oh, Madam Chair, may I?
Yes.
One more question. Do you have to dimension the proposed underground propane tank? Is there any call out for that, or
The propane tank?
Yeah.
What about it?
does it have to be dimensioned on the, as
No,
far as?
not really. What we'd have to do is we gotta take from that, go to the fire chief, get permission to install it, and then install it.
Okay,
Okay, we don't have to worry about it. It's in the ground, so it's gonna be no
Okay.
big deal.
Did you have a question, Mark?
Yeah, on the narrative, Mr. Jalbert, it says that the plan number in 19179 is dated December 24th, but the plan I have is actually dated December 30th.
Right, which we,
So 30th is the correct?
30th is correct. That's the one we were using for
Okay,
submittal.
thank you.
Yes. We actually redrafted it.
All right, thank you.
Does anybody else have any questions?
I have no questions.
Anybody in the audience have any questions? Okay. Does anybody want to make a motion?
I make a motion to grant the determination submitted by Dennis Antonopoulos and Christine Thierry to allow the construction of an addition, carport, 2 pergolas, 2 paver patties on the property located at 28 Long Ave, as shown on the plan submitted, does not intensify the existing nonconformity or create additional nonconformity, and the owner may apply for a building permit for the described activities as shown on the plan entitled Proposed Site Plan prepared by Dennis W. Antonopoulos and Christine Tier at 28 Long Ave, Sturbridge, prepared by Jalbert Engineering, plan date 12/30/19, DWG number 19179.
Do you have a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
Now, who gets the credit for the,
For what?
we have 2 simultaneously seconded.
Oh, I got.
I'll arm wrestle him for it.
Tom
Tom
seconded.
second. Tom was
Okay.
a
Get the record straight.
All those in favor? Okay, it's unanimous.
Lots of love.
You want them?
Mr. Jalbert, you got an order of an OOC from
Right.
Conservation? And that was just recently, right on the 4th?
Yes.
I have it right here.
Right, I believe you. I thought I saw the meeting.
What?
I saw the replay of the meeting.
Oh, yeah. I was there.
Keeping track, watching out after you.
Thank you, everybody.
You are
Good evening.
Welcome.
Okay, next we have a determination for Neil, because if I pronounce it wrong, Scioletti.
Got it.
Okay. For 96 Westwood Drive to demolish an existing 10 by 12 and an 8 by 10 decks and construct a 10 by 12 addition and also a 4 by 4 mudroom.
I think that's 4.5 feet by 4.5.
Well,
Yeah.
not even a half, 4.5 by 4.5 mudroom. And we did receive information from the fire department, the building department, and conservation. And
In town plan.
the fire department was just the normal smoke detectors in your house numbering. And UPATA, hearing with the conservation, and they approved, so. Okay, you can go ahead and present your case.
So my case, sorry. So basically, it's a two-part project, I guess you'd call it. In the back of the house, there's two existing decks, 10 by 12 and 8 by 10, I think. I always get those numbers mixed up. But both those decks are coming down, and they're rebuilding just to the size of the first deck, the 10 by 12 deck, in an enclosed addition. And then in the front of the house, there's a existing porch, and we're basically taking that down and rebuilding a mudroom 4.5 by 4.5, where the stairs, I believe, are coming off the front in the same location as they currently are.
The stairs in the same location.
In the front, there are no stairs coming out the back. Those are
Yeah.
being taken out as well.
Does anybody have any questions?
Um,
I just had one. So the addition in the back, there's no stairs that are going to that walkway, or,
No,
so how are you getting, is there a?
there's
an
a
ex-
walkout basement
Oh, okay,
on the other level.
okay, okay.
Yeah, that was my question. The stairs that they show on the plan, they're being removed?
Removed.
Yes. In the back, yes.
Yeah, and. Yeah, it says remove existing deck and stairs.
Oh, all that.
So basically, on the main level where the two additions are, it's the front of the house is the entrance, and then the lower level has the walkout basement facing
Walkout.
the lake.
Mhm.
That's the second egress, I guess.
Are both floors finished? It's going to be
Yes.
2 floors?
And the other 3 decks are staying?
The ones
by
that
the
aren't
water?
attached to the house by the lake, yes, so nothing's changing there.
Okay.
Are they different?
Don't see any problem.
Right, so you're removing a 10 by 12 deck and an 8 by 10 deck. And you're putting on addition that's 12 by 8?
12 by 10.
Size of the, it's
10 by
10
12.
by
10 by
12.
12.
10 by 12. So
10
the size of the
by
first deck, essentially.
10 by 12,
Yeah.
yeah, right.
So the footprint's getting smaller, essentially.
Right.
And there won't be any deck coming off it?
No.
No, okay.
I don't see any
And you're
problem.
decreasing the lot coverage, so that's a good thing.
Yep.
Does anybody have any questions? No?
This is commercial, rather municipal sewer? Yeah, okay.
And you got a determination of applicability from conservation on the fort there again. Okay.
Does anybody in the audience have any questions? No? Seeing none, do we have a motion?
I make a motion to grant the determination submitted by Neil Scoletti to allow the demolition of the existing 10 by 12 and 8 by 10 decks and the construction of a new 12 by 10 addition addition and the location and the construction of a 4.5 mudroom on the front of the home located at 96 Westwood Drive as shown on the plan submitted. Does not intensify the existing nonconformity or create additional nonconformity, and the owner may apply for a building permit for the described activities as shown on the plan entitled Plan Plot for Rosalie Minardi, 96 Westwood Drive, Sturbridge, prepared by Jalbert Engineering, plan date 10/8/09, DWG number 09368, revision 3 dated 1/21/20.
It's
We have a
4 by 5 by 4 by 5.
By 4 by 5, yes.
Yeah.
You have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, unanimous.
For your time.
Good luck.
How you doing? Everybody good? Yeah. Take care.
And then next we have a determination for Tim O'Brien of 1 Hawthorne Road to add a 12 by 14 foot deck in the back of the house. And, oh, hold on. I seem to have any-
Yeah.
I don't have,
It's,
The
Jean's.
fire department just wants the
this all of
house
them?
number.
Look behind there.
Okay.
Yeah.
so we did hear from the fire department, the building department, conservation,
And Jean.
And Jean.
and Jean. The same thing, the fire is the same to have your house numbered. And yeah, that's it. So you can go ahead.
I'm looking at a 12 by 14 deck with a sliding door off of my breezeway. Currently, there is no deck there at all, and there would be a set of stairs going down from the deck into the backyard, which would increase my lot coverage from 12% to 13%.
And the setbacks stay the same.
Yeah, it
Right.
would not bring the structure any closer to the rear property line.
Right. Okay. And you didn't even have to go to conservation. There was nothing involved there, so no concern at all there. All right. You want me to make?
The only comment I have is on the application, under maximum lot coverage, it had 13%, but on the plan, it says lot coverage will be 9% after the addition is added.
That plan is from back in
That was-
2016.
Yes.
That's when you put the
an
addition on.
the house.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's non-functional at this one.
So,
On the left side of the house where you see the measurements 24 by 16,
Yep.
that was an addition on it.
all right, so
So that number is not relevant
Yeah.
for this application. I probably should have
Right.
crossed it out.
Yeah.
Okay,
I had pretty much the same question on that.
Yeah, and, sorry. In my report, I noted that I allowed the applicant to use his existing plot plan that we had on file since he was clearly outside of the setbacks and coverage. So he came in and we scaled it off on the existing plan that we had, and we did the new calculations.
okay. Does anybody have any questions?
No, I'm okay.
No?
He keeps telling me every time he plans this 2 years ahead, he just comes over and tells me what his plans are, and then he goes ahead and makes the plans and comes in here and gets them
Planting the
approved.
seed.
Well, we shouldn't be
See,
discussing
in a
it.
couple of years, when my wife gives me permission to build a bigger garage.
Well, we shouldn't be discussing it privately. Well, all right, I'm willing to make a motion if you want. Anybody else has problems?
I have no questions.
All right, so if nobody has any questions, do we have a motion?
I'm willing to make a motion. Mr. Young, would you like to make a motion, or
No, you're doing real well tonight, Marge, so,
I'll make
Stay
a
quiet.
motion to grant the determination to Tim O'Brien, 1 Hawthorne Road, as requested to add a 12 by 14 deck with sliding doors. There is in the back corner where the house meets the breezeway, as shown on plot plan, with new addition sketched onto it. The plot plan of the land for Richard A. Washburn, and I believe it's Ruth A. Washburn. It's all smudged, you can't see it. I don't know what the date on it is, because I couldn't read it. Maybe you can see it, Jean? I can't make it out at all. It's all smudged.
Yeah, I can't either. Looks like January 3rd, 1930 something, but I know
Well,
that's
I
not
know it
correct.
goes all the way back because it was prepared by Robert F. Power,
Right.
the parent of the other Powers. A registered land surveyor, Southbridge, Mass. And I believe he was, I can't remember whether it was 390 or 398 or something on Alpine Drive. I can't make it out. Maybe
I
it
thought it
was.
was 39C.
No, it was, there's a number, because I remember it was 390 something,
I think
and I
it's
can't
390
remember
Alpine.
something. Yeah, was it 390?
390, yeah.
All right, so the date is unclear. I don't have but I know it predates everything, because I checked the cards, the property
Yeah.
card on it. Okay? So, as shown, for Richard A. Washburn, et cetera, proposal does not intensify or create additional nonconformities, and approval is granted provided that all issues, concerns, permits that are deemed necessary are applied for.
We have a
Second. Second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
I'm going to abstain
You're abstaining.
because he's next door,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, Tom?
Okay.
So it's four.
Okay, you're all set.
You got it.
Yep, you got it.
You're all set.
You're welcome.
Good night, Tim.
You don't have to wait until now, 7:45.
You can go right ahead.
No,
If
we don't have to
anybody's
wait
here.
for
We don't have to wait.
If there's nobody.
But there's nobody here, though.
I think Mr. Jalbert is going to come back for this one, isn't he?
No, he's not. The applicant's representing himself.
Oh, he is on this one?
Mhm.
Oh, it's Mr. Simonelli here.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't think he'd be waiting downstairs, but I'll go check just to make sure. Thank you.
You left them in the car, okay. Maybe you wanted to share.
Thank you.
It is getting chilly
Yeah,
in
it
here
is
now,
cold in
yeah.
here. Yeah.
Had an interesting selectmen's meeting this week, huh?
I didn't have to go this week,
You
so.
didn't have to go. The last few have been interesting. Very interesting.
What were they doing?
Oh, it's too long. You gotta watch it yourself. It's hard to describe.
This, yes.
Liz, I guess you could recess until the applicant gets here.
Okay. All right, so we'll call a recess. It's 7:24.
When is our,
Hopefully they'll come early.
yeah, when is our next meeting scheduled?
Oh, March. They just recessed,
Yeah, I
so-
didn't bring my calendar.
Did the trees and moved back it shows the water line on here.
So nothing to what he was gonna do?
Yeah, just it shows the plantings and it locates the water line. Those were the only revisions, so it didn't change any of what's proposed.
Okay. All right.
Added the plantings and showed the water line
And they also moved the location of the conduit, actually.
and, yeah, the conduit.
Right.
But otherwise, no,
It was going into the stone wall before, so.
change the water line. So the only changes.
So the date on the revision 2 is 2/14/20?
This is, yes.
Revision 2,
14.
okay.
Oh, okay, because
Thanks.
there was, all right. There was another one that was dated 2/04. So this is
That was-
2/14.
Mr. Jalbert just came back up and dropped this one.
Oh, okay, so this is 2/14 now. Yeah, because I was
revision 2.
confused because there was one that said 2/04.
Right.
All right,
That was revision 1, now we
Yeah.
have revision 2.
okay.
It doesn't change where the additions or
Right.
anything were going.
No, I'm just going to annotate on my plan.
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Simonelli, if you're ready, you can present
Sure.
what you're gonna do.
We'd like a determination with respect to the matters outlined in the request. What we did was, in addition to the blurb that's in the paragraph that
was a lot, and we had also attached a further description, just to give you a narrative, so to speak, of what we intend to do. So we intend to, repairing the stone wall has to be done. That was, has been there for over 50 years, and it's just going to end up back in the same place, same stones, same location. With respect to the house, we're going to be lifting the house up to 3.5 feet, and as we're getting final calculations, it might not even be that far up. The addition that we're doing, this involves a dimensional change. This will be removing what I refer to as the three-season porch that's there already, and then we will then even off. If you look at the exhibit marked Exhibit F, you'll see that what we'll do is we'll take square off the building in the back. We'll take where the master bedroom is and where currently the kitchen is, and just connect those lines so it's evenly squared off. And that will be the addition. So the addition, after the removal of the three-season porch, the addition will now provide conditioned space where that three-seasons porch was, plus that additional, I think it's like 6 feet or something that we're adding for the additional space. And then in front of that, we would have the dock as presented on the plan. The underground wiring and piping happens underground, so that's part of what you are considering. This is a commercial space, so I believe we have, as far as density is concerned, up to 30% usage, and bear with me to see if I can remember here. It ended up being, I think, memory serves me, around 27%. And we are within the setback lines that existed. So while we do have some pre-existing nonconformity, none of that is being extended. We're not adding any new nonconformities by the proposed plan. And we also have a dock. It's going to be the same dock that was there. It's 4.5 feet wide by 25 feet. And that's, of course, subject to all the approval, including the state approval in that instance. And that's that.
Okay, does anybody have any questions?
Yes,
Go ahead. Oh,
I
you can
have
go,
one.
Marge.
Yes. If I'm calculating this correctly, the addition where the house is to be squared off with the addition on the house and the porch area is going from 142 square feet to 172 square feet, is that correct?
Now, let me just check.
Increase of 30.
You're talking about the total addition space, or?
Yes, the house to be square, where it's going to be squared off.
Correct. All right, so what we had was the porch, which will be eliminated, is 172 square feet. So then we're adding the squaring off of that 5.5 feet there, and that adds that additional square footage, which is, I believe I've got that in here, bear with
It's
me.
208.
Okay, so, and then that gives us our total square footage of 314. But the additional is only that,
No, I'm-
bear with me.
All right, what I'm going to, the house is to, it says that the house is to be squared off
Right,
with an addition to the house
Correct.
of 142 square feet,
That's correct.
plus a porch area of 172 square feet?
Plus the area occupied by the current porch, so I'm not adding another porch.
No,
That's-
so
okay.
that's it.
That's the
Oh,
total.
okay, that clarifies it
And that
more
gives us a
then.
total of 314.
All right, the 314, okay. All right. There was a little confusion there because I saw the 30 square feet.
Actually, on Exhibit C, is a photograph, and you can see how that would be squared off.
Yeah, I saw that.
I have a couple of questions.
Sure.
So on the plan, it shows the proposed addition, and then there's a dotted line.
You're talking Mr. Jalbert's plan?
I just wanted to know what this area was right here.
Oh, that was the porch.
May I approach to see?
Yes, please.
Okay, so this area here is the existing three-season porch,
Okay.
and then this would be the additional space including that, so those two would constitute it.
And this is, what are the stairs here that exist now?
Yeah, there's the outside porch.
Yeah.
It's not enclosed or anything, it's just stairs and an overhang. So that's gonna be gone. We're also removing the lamp in the front here. Although I'm getting older, I may appreciate having that. But, yeah, so we'll essentially end up squared off with this in here.
Is that entrance still gonna be there, that?
Yes, that entrance, in fact, that's visible in that other exhibit.
Yeah, I saw that in the photograph.
So we will be retaining that entrance.
Okay, and so, the addition is approximately 25 feet, 10 and a half inches by 13 feet, 4 inches. If you just took
So are you talking about the, including
the proposed addition,
the three-season porch area or just the addition?
not including the deck?
Okay, so not including the deck, I'm sorry, but not including the porch that's being removed?
No.
Look
Just
at the pre-existing drawing, the one before this. Yeah, this section is 102 square feet right here. And then he's gonna take this 72 square feet and add 142 square feet right here. And that's the 314 that's gonna be now indoors instead of being, this is the screened-in porch.
Oh, so if you want, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Well, the porch is disappearing. The porch is
Yes.
leaving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just the little steps going up. There's two porches there. There's the outside steps coming up, and then there's the enclosed porch.
Porch, right.
Well, with the
The
jealousy
enclosed
windows.
porch is leaving.
That's right, that's right. And you can see in that Exhibit C, you can see where the where the porch ends and the stone wall begins on the left-hand side of that image.
Yeah.
So it would essentially be squared off, beginning at the stone foundation, squared off with, it's the master bedroom that's above that little.
Okay, I got it
door.
now. It's gonna come all the way out to here.
Right, and just square right there.
What will you do with the roof line on that?
Yeah, the roof line is proposed to be extended out, of course, and then raised higher, so we'll get enough pitch for the drainage.
Okay, okay.
Is anybody else have any questions?
No,
Nope.
but I
It's
need
different.
some corrections.
Just different looking at commercial property, where you can do all this on a piece of commercial property because the zoning is so different, but yeah.
Yeah,
I'm all
it's-
set.
Yeah, and all of it is locked in too. There again, on the cover sheet, there are errors on the cover sheet. On the existing, it shows 22.32% of the lot coverage, and then it says it goes to 27.20. And then on the plan, it's totally different. It says it goes from 23 to 29.5, but then when you look at the scale, it says it goes to 29.4. So we have to get all of this initialed and get the proper one in there.
Well, which one is correct?
The correct one should be 29.4 on the proposed. And on the existing, 23. That's for the lot coverage. Then there was something on the front yard too. 24.2 feet.
Where's the 24.2?
On the setback, the front setback.
Yeah, you know, that was my error. I stood there with a laser measurer, and I stood right where my driveway met the street, but that's not the line. I thought that was the line. So that's why I had that error. So what I gave you as a measurement was when I stood on the street and went there. Then when Lenny went out and measured it, that would be the correct measurement.
24.2,
Right.
yeah. Okay,
We had the application before the plan actually came in, so.
yeah.
Okay, so 29.4 or 5? Okay, I got that. And
Yeah, years ago, we were elected, this is a quasi-legal board, and we gotta get the facts right, so.
And it's 24.2 for proposed and existing?
No,
No, just proposed.
24.2 is proposed.
Well, there's nothing gonna change there.
Nothing's changed on the,
Well,
up here,
except
up
we're
here.
actually removing
No,
the
we're
ramp.
talking about here,
Front.
on the front,
setback.
24.2, right here.
Right.
This one.
24.2 goes under the proposed, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the front yard.
Correct.
Right, and so currently it's 18 because that includes the ramp, which will be disappearing.
Okay.
So it's actually reducing a non-conformity there.
Well, the existing was, that's what it was.
The 18, correct. That's from the ramp, if you count that.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't, then it would
Right,
be the garage.
so that's what we're saying. We're going to the other now, okay?
Yes, I believe. And is that, let me just confirm.
Yeah,
this.
yeah. I checked.
18 with ramp.
I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, okay, 18 with ramp,
Yeah.
yeah, 20, yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Thank you.
Okay?
Yes, thanks.
You're welcome.
Oh, is this the one with the sun porch or this, or is that the different one?
That was different.
Oh, possible screen room or sunroom
Possible.
over a portion of the deck.
Yeah, that's another thing. That, is it or is it not going to be? Because you said there's a possible screen.
Right,
I
right.
mean, you know,
My
we
wife
have
will-
to be exact.
Okay, well, my wife would like to close off a section so that if, you know, the bugs get bad or whatnot, we can still go outside and have it
Yeah.
screened or shielded somehow. And so we put that there because we have that definitely in mind, but we're just not sure, you know, what form it's going to take. We're still going to leave some of the deck there. We want a deck that we could
All right, we're not gonna be dealing with granting that, you're not gonna be screening it in now. So it's
Okay.
gonna be open
Okay.
for what you're proposing right now, correct? Because you don't know what kind you're gonna do. You can close it in as a sunroom or something else, is that what you're saying?
Correct, like if it were windy days or whatnot, so we hadn't gone through that yet, so I could withdraw that section of the proposal
I
and then
was
just
just
come
gonna
back before
say, it'd
you.
be easier if you withdraw that from it, that's from my perspective anyway, that comment.
Well, if we did add, let's say, like enclosed.
Well, I mean, I'd leave it up to Ms. Boobon to tell you the truth.
Well, I think-
Look for her direction on
Well,
that.
so the deck's 26 by 12, and they're proposing to screen in 12 by 12 feet of it, so I think that's
Well, we
fine.
don't know what they're gonna
But
put on.
he said potentially, he didn't know whether they were going to or not.
Well, my wife
Right.
definitely wants to do something, but I'm not sure what form it will take. If we did have, so let me ask, if we did have an enclosed space, but it was on the deck, not changing the dimensions or anything, but just a portion of the deck, would that be a problem? Would that increase?
Well, if they take it off, you'd have to come back. I don't see the necessity of coming back for a 12 by 12 screen room.
No, not for a screen, but what if they
If
decide
it's
to
enclosed,
close it?
If it's permanent living space, they'd have to come back in, but if it's just a screen room or
They
sunroom,
wouldn't
then
have to,
they
no.
don't, I would rather have you
Exactly.
approve it this evening, so he doesn't have to
Well,
have
that's what I'm
out.
saying, I'm trying to get to that. You can approve it that way, and then you're covered, and then if you decide not to, there's nothing lost or gained.
Sure, sure.
That's, I just want clarification on it, because I don't like to deal in hypotheticals.
Yeah, it would not be conditioned living space. It
Right.
would just be
Okay.
like sheltered from bugs or wind.
Right. You and I go back a long way, Mr. Simonelli,
No,
so you
no.
know. I dealt with you in the courthouse, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that would be the
I
plan
think
with
that would
respect
be
to that.
better to do it that way.
All right, are there any more questions?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, just on this very issue, is it going to be covered if the 12 by 12 portion, now the deck is open, right? The 12 by
Correct.
12
The
deck is
deck
open.
would be open.
If you put in a screen room, you're going to want to cover that somehow.
Yeah, yeah.
And that, will that be a permanent roof?
That would make sense.
And that becomes a part of the program, right?
It wouldn't be, I don't know that it would be attached to the, like, in other words, would it be attached to the main part of the roof?
I think if you're going to put a screen room in, you've got to have something up here.
Correct.
That's
And it would be a
correct. All right,
permanent roof.
Thank you.
And would have to be attached to the
'Cause then-
other roof, right?
Right, so that everything would flow right.
Yes.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, now,
So what we're looking at is having a roof, we're suggesting that we can approve a roof over 12 feet of that, a 12 by 12 roof for now. And then if you put it in, you all set. If you don't,
this is where I was getting at with the whole thing. What are we dealing with? Because I,
No,
you
no,
know-
I'm glad you raised that issue, so that we have it clarified.
Okay.
It says 12 by 12 screen room or sunroom, so I would assume they have a roof over it, so
Right.
I think it's fine.
Yeah, but they didn't say specifically they were going to do it. They were conjecturing as to whether or not they would close it in and that.
No, actually, we always thought it would be some enclosed
Close
space.
it.
We just weren't sure whether it would be all screen or how.
Okay, or whatever, all right.
All right, any more
I'm
questions from
good.
the board,
I'm good.
the audience? Do we have a motion?
I make a motion to grant the determination submitted by Henry and Cindy Simonelli to allow the restoration of a stone retaining wall and a new cement slab and side walls under the shed, lifting the house approximately 3.5 feet to allow more accessibility to the basement, and the construction of an addition as shown on the plans, does not intensify the existing nonconformity or, sorry about that, create additional nonconformity, and the owner may apply for a building permit for the described activities and the documentation, that description that of the project, as shown on the plan entitled Prepared Site Plan Henry R. Simonelli, 10 Fairgrounds Road, prepared by Jalbert Engineering, plan date 2/3/20, DWG number 20016, revision 2 dated 2/14/20.
I'll second that.
Oh, sorry. All those in favor? Okay.
Enjoy.
Thanks.
Your staff do a nice job with the paperwork. I'm always impressed, really.
Good luck.
Wait a minute, sir, is this your jacket?
All right.
That looks like we're concluded for the evening, I believe.
Motion
make
to,
a-
adj-
Go ahead.
you go.
No, you go.
Motion to adjourn, time
Second.
noted approximately 8 o'clock.
Second.
All those in favor? Okay, adjourned.
We are adjourned.
We are adjourned.